guys, man, welcome back. I know I'm a little bit late with the Limit Breaker video, but you know, it came out yesterday, the new season, and it's much harder than usual, man. And I was asking myself when streaming, like, why? Why is this that hard? Why is this like much harder than before? You know, we usually do around like 28, 30 stages and stuff, you know, when the times are met, you know, when the times are correct. And I'm usually hard forcing the Noel team. You know, hey, it is what it is. You know, I like Noel, so I'm usually using Yuha and Noel whenever I can. Now this time around, I did have to swap my team a little bit around, and I'm using right now Tsurugi. We have the resurrection version of Ulquiorra as well at the second slot, and Yuha. So far, this team worked for me the best, and the main reason why is because, you know, I don't have the options that you actually need to have for these stages, right? Ideally, you would have the new Cyber Ulquiorra, right? And the second slot you would have like Sangdu and stuff. And you know, I do not have those units unfortunately, but Rukia does it pretty good, except the boss stages. During the boss stages, it's really hard to like, you know, like do damage to them for some reason. I mean, Rukia just does absolutely nothing, you know, to these enemies, aside of just freezing them. And yeah, man. So yesterday when I did the quest, I definitely had some issues even doing like 19 stages, if you know what I mean, which is definitely like a low amount of stages, right, compared to what we usually do. But I took a different approach after doing it a couple of times, you know, after stream, and I'm specialing right now 2 times with Ulquiorra. It's much better, much more efficient as well, and you will have so much time remaining if you do that. Now, if you wanna like have anyone in the Limit Breaker quest right now as a special move damage dealer, I would highly suggest using someone who has burn or laceration or something like that, because the DOT effect, you know, the damage over time effect from the laceration and the burn will do a ton of damage to the bosses, right? That's why we are mainly going with Ulquiorra, and he's kinda good as well, you know, in this Limit Breaker quest. This Ulquiorra is kinda good, surprisingly, right? Yuha, you know, General Yuha Baha, man, like, bro, he just gives us a special, he does everything by himself, and that's more than enough. Now, of course, the positioning can matter, of course, and using the abilities at the correct time, the correct way as well. You know, it is what it is. That's usually a thing with the Limit Breaker quest. By the way, these enemies are much tankier than before. They probably changed the HP amount that these enemies have. Again, they can change whatever they want to without saying it, right? Without saying it in the news, they can change it. It's in the Limit Breaker quest tab as well. You know, hey, that is what it is, I guess. You know, am I happy that this one is that hard? No. Was it fun, I guess? Yeah, if I have to say so myself, I guess it was fun. But I like to do more stages though, if you know what I mean. Even without best in slot, I do like to do more stages. And yeah, man, I mean, bro, it's fine, I guess. You know, next one maybe is gonna be much easier, right? Because they're gonna swap this up. This is not gonna be the general norm for the HP of these enemies, right? This maybe one time this is gonna be like much harder, maybe next time it's gonna be much easier, right? It is what it is. It will depend on the season, I guess. But this one is 1,000,000% harder than before. Now, with the abilities and stuff, I'm not even sure what should we discuss here. It's super straightforward, right? We just spam the skills on the bosses, waiting for the weakening to happen. Here and there we do an auto attack, we dodge a little bit, stuff like that. And that's mainly about it though. Mainly try to focus on learning the Ulquiorra stages if you use Ulquiorra. The Rukia one, if you use Rukia, it's not that hard, right? But the Ulquiorra could be much slower if you don't know where to do the skills and how to do them, right? Which is definitely gonna help you, right, if you learn it. You can use different characters as well here to succeed, but mainly the king of the quest right now is dupe levels, right? It's sad, but it's true. It's mainly dupe levels, right? I tried Retsu before, for an example, at the second slot. She's 1-5 for me. Was much worse than Ulquiorra, much worse. I tried Yama for an example instead of the first, you know, unit that I'm using, Rukia, right? He was like absolutely doing nothing, and why? Because my Yama is 1-5. Now if your Yama is 5-5, maybe, right? Definitely can happen. You know, I've seen people doing the specials with Yama and stuff, and yeah, I mean, I guess. 22, pretty good. I don't think I can do 23. I will need to get here like around like 7 to 5 more seconds to do 23, which is kinda unreasonable. I think the run was pretty good. This will be our build. Rukia, 1 out of 5. Full stamina, damage boost, and long stride, super important. Long stride, super important. Ulquiorra, 2 out of 5. We have the sticker applied as well, and the links and stuff. SP full stamina. We do have the Yuha. Here we go. Tensa Zangetsu is a link. Shinji and Jushiro, 2-5 Yuha. This is the unit definitely where I would say like if you get one more copy, it's really good, right? Just like with Ulquiorra and stuff. But getting into the recommendations of these stages, I would highly advise you to use the Cyber Ulquiorra, the Future Society Ulquiorra, if you have him for the first slot. I mean, literally the stage was made for the Ulquiorra. Even though the second skill is bugged right now, he definitely does the Limit Breaker quest super nicely. The third strong attack mainly is the deciding factor here. If you know how to use it, there are maps which you can clear by using the third strong attack alone with fully charging it, which is definitely great. You know, it's gonna help you a lot, right? If you don't have Ulquiorra, I would go with Rukia instead. During the boss stages, it's gonna be very hard, right? On the mini rounds, it's kinda nice. You spam the skills, right? Because you do have the team recharge effect. But yeah, man, right? The bosses are gonna be a little bit tricky. I don't know how much Ichigo does right now, the 8th anniversary in this quest, how much damage he can actually do. I don't have the unit, but people be saying that he's not that bad, so I'm just gonna recommend it to you. Try it. It's not a guaranteed option, it's not guaranteed that it will work. And yeah, man, Yamamoto at 5-5. If you have Yamamoto at 5-5, definitely give a shot. I don't think it's that bad, right? But even at 5-5, his damage is lacking 100%, and mainly because he's not ranged right now in this quest. Also, you can use Yuha with Yama, and that way you special twice with Yamamoto, but it depends what you want to do, right? Second slot, I would go Sangdu 1,000,000%, if you have him, right? If you don't, I would choose the resurrection version of Ulquiorra. It's okay, it's nice. I think he does the stages pretty nicely. You can definitely go Senjumaru as well if you want to. She has the hollow killer effect. She is meeting every stage rule, and she does a consistent amount of damage. Senjumaru is very good here. Retsu as well. If you want to do Retsu, you can do Retsu, but when picking her, just think about it. If you have more dupes, it's gonna be much better. If you don't, it might not be the best option you can choose. Third slot, you can go anyone that is like a meta unit, like Yuha or Riruka or Ichibe, I guess, or you can even do like Kilgay and stuff, or Tsurugi, Ichigo. All of these are good. I have seen gameplay of them. I have tried a couple of them as well. Tsurugi, Ichigo is absolutely insane. I would say if you want damage alone, damage and that's it, and you don't care about the rest of the team members, go with Ichigo instead. Ichigo does so much damage, and I mean, you could even say they made the stage for Ichigo, right? Other than that though, if you want to use someone like 1000 Year Yamamoto, if you want to use someone like this Ulquiorra, the blue one, right, the resurrection version, if you want to use anyone that does like a special move and that's where they are specializing and stuff, I would go Yuha instead. Yes, you're gonna do it a little bit slower than with Ichigo, but you know, again, it's gonna be compensated on the other stages, right? Because you can do a special. Another special move is always good. If you don't care about strategies and stuff, I would say the best team is the new Future Society Ulquiorra, the second one is Sangdu, and the third one is Tsurugi Ichigo. And if you have these three units, you're gonna go in there and you learn the map and you do the skills correctly, you're definitely gonna do a lot of stages. You know, I have seen people doing 25, 26 with low amount of dupes with these units here, and yeah man, you know, but the ability placement has to be correct. But that's mainly about it though for today, guys. Let me know how many stages you did as well. Have a beautiful day / night wherever you are. Take care and bye bye.